Hi, Aquarius. Happy New Year. The space is open. I've been receiving messages for you, and I first off want to start by saying thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I thank all the signs, of course, but you especially. You are leading a change in the collective that is very sacred, very powerful. And I feel so drawn to help, to understand some of the challenges, some of the hurdles, some of the milestones that I've been through myself that are no easy feat, as you know, but that they are worth something. They are great. There is something on the other side of getting through those hurdles. It's not just another hurdle waiting, although it may sometimes feel that way. And it's a call to presence and embodiment like never before. And as you step into this role that I've been talking about, of you stepping into a different kind of leadership, whether you're already a leader or not, you are in your own right. You choosing truth in your life repetitively, consistently, despite all odds, is what allows you to be the face of peace, the face of love, the face of the divine on the planet. And of course, that's no easy task, right? That is spectacular. But that comes with a great responsibility. And there is some clarity that you need, and we're going to dive into that. But I did want to thank you for all of your support. And I do want to wish you an incredibly prosperous, abundant, loving, and happy new year. What is the new year? Is it really a new year? Or is it really an opportunity to implement the learnings, the growth, the level up? And this theme has come up for you quite strongly. And it is about growth and mastery of the mind. Because you've had a heart opening, you've had a lot of healing, you've had so many experiences. And so there's a mastery of the mind. And so the wind spirits have brought you some messages. That was one of them. But there's more. There's more where that came from. And it's time. It is time. And I want to dive into some of the channeled messages, the transmission, like what really came through initially for you, some runes, and then I'll go ahead and dive into the tarot as usual. What came through really strongly was you being on the brink of something and your need to kind of jump in. And there's this energy of letting things fall or cascade off of you, and knowing that as you jump through, you will be caught, okay? You will be caught by this divine energy that is with you, and Spirit, and it came through as Holy Spirit is asking you to work through it, okay? Meaning that Spirit is with you always, of course, but profoundly at this time, because there's a miracle that needs to come through you. Okay. I hope you know what that is. And it's going to happen as you connect to this greater understanding of Spirit being with you. Okay. It's kind of like the higher chakras, right? Like they've been somehow neglected out of survival tactics and healing. So connecting with the divine, with your heart, with love, is what's going to give you this knowing that there is no small-minded human reaction that can interfere with this energy. Okay? So it is always with you, and nothing can really persist. And it's actually about you making a choice to seat as in sitting down, to seat God's presence at the root of everything that you're doing. And there's something that came through really powerful around that you may be at this time in the energy of an imprint left behind of an experience created by another person. So I hope this makes sense. And it could be multiple people, but it's an environment thing, and it's the way that you've been treated in certain situations that haven't been honoring who you truly are. But the issue with that is that instead of you rising above that energy and sort of pitying that small-mindedness or that type of person, you took on the energy that that person was wanting to leave with you. They didn't want it anymore. Okay. I know some people talk about destiny swapping or energy transfer, right? It's like, it's along the lines of that. Not exactly. It's more about imprints. Okay. And what happens when someone leaves an imprint and you kind of absorb it is you start to operate from that frequency, and you may not recognize it, or you may see it and not recognize yourself, right, in your own reactions. And so it's actually not yours. And so this is why the message has been that the Holy Spirit is with you, and that awareness that you are protected and that you don't need to absorb or go down to that level that people want you to go down to sometimes, so that they can feel better, so that they can release their pain, so that they can transmute their lower vibrational energies. Like, you're not here for that, okay? Yes, you may be here in a sense to reflect that to someone by you not entertaining it, but it's not about you absorbing, okay? It's like there's the message is that you need to keep that at the forefront of your awareness as you move forward this year, that it's not about you absorbing. It's about you perhaps acknowledging, but then reflecting it, right? In the sense that they're able to see their pettiness because you're not taking it on. But when you take it on, it's like they win. They feel better. Now you're the crazy one. You're the angry one. You're the monster, right? It's not them anymore. And now they can point at you and say, you see how you are. You see how you react after you've been poked ferociously, right? So there's a need for that presence, that godly understanding. And it's a beautiful learning because it means something greater. It's not just about the situation itself, but once you've acknowledged that, and then once you've implemented it, there's like an empowerment that comes from that about darkness itself, that it can't touch you, right? And so you become more aware of it. And this starts to happen as people who are meant to show others the way, sort of like step into some type of, again, leadership mastery. Those people, you get different stripes given to you. I don't know why I'm saying it that way, but there are different levels that you get to expand into as you have these understandings as you check these off of the list of things that you need to grow into in this life. It's like you finish a milestone and then you step into another level of yourself, and then you finish that and you step into another level of yourself. And so you've been on this path already, but this is like a big one. This understanding of that darker energy. Oh my God, I think in the last reading I told you to watch Harry Potter. It just hit me because Harry Potter came to me again just now. Yes, because that is the theme in those movies. If you are that aware to recognize that theme is there. It's like being in some kind of school, academy of self-mastery that, you know, you were meant to be in, right? And so your life itself has been that evolution, and your understanding of this energy that comes to mess with you in different ways is what makes it stop. Okay, it is the thing. I don't want to say stops. It's what keeps it at bay. That's what I want to say. It's what keeps it at bay. And the wind spirits, as I was walking today, or was it yesterday? I can't remember. I had a message for you about not biting the bait. So that is now making sense with all of this, right? That there is some kind of bait that is given through others that you're biting and you're believing it. And it's putting you in this tethered and caged sense in your mind. And there's something about you unlocking that. I'm going to pull a rune. Otherwise, I'll just keep shuffling throughout the whole reading. Spirit, give me a rune. What's happened here? Oh, there it is. Spirit, give me a rune for the Aquarian collective for the new year. Where are they at right now? Mastery. And what do they need to know? Oh, beautiful. It's so divinely beautiful. It's definitely time to get to work on something. And I guess that's this miracle that needs to come through you. It's the outcome of this. Oh, oh my gosh. Okay, let me show you this. It's so, so beautiful. So this is the tree, right? This is the mastery. This is the fire that has burned away so many things in your life in the past that no longer make sense for where you're headed, okay? And you don't, because this is your path, this is your actual path, you're not given the luxury to hang on to those things like safety blankets and teddy bears, right? Like those things get just thrown in the fire and it's time for you to move on. And there's something interesting about this because at the bottom of the deck, we have this man who's drinking the blood, and he's quite overweight. And normally I associate that card with people who are overindulging in some capacity because there's something they're avoiding. And that may be true for you, but there's something else that I'm getting from it that's connected to this mastery. And it is about drinking the blood. Can't believe what I'm saying. It's about enjoying and savoring every moment and every accomplishment, and also the things that didn't work and the failures, seeing why they didn't and going, oh, that's the point in the cycle that I could have broken free, right? And learning from it. They're wanting you to look at it like as you would a video game. You have fun with it. You don't throw the controller against the wall and go like, I hate this game. I mean, some kids do that, but pretty soon they're not allowed to play that game anymore, are they? Or they just continue to get more and more frustrated, right? But the fun of it is the part that's missing in this whole journey, because no one really gets to that point where like nothing is wrong and everything is okay. So there's always things to learn and understand, and there's always energies that are trying to annoy because they want to be sent into the light. They want to be healed. And if you are a healer, if you are a leader, if you are who I know you are going to attract those energies, because those energies want to go to be sent into the light. They want to be transmuted, right? And that happens with you, but you're not meant to take it on, right? You're meant to understand your power in transmuting. And so this self-mastery is the path that you're on, but you're in that sort of initiation stage into sort of higher realms, or it's not even higher realms. It's like, I mean, it is, because you're needing to connect to higher realms to get to your next stage, but it's almost like your initiation into the big leagues. That's what I want to say, into the big leagues, sitting at the big boy, big girl table. Okay. Interesting. And what you need to implement here is, this is very powerful divine feminine energy. And I think that we've been talking about that for a while. And I almost wore my leopard print for this reading, but I put it behind me because there was this ferocious feline energy coming through. And while that's not specifically on this card, it's the same kind of energy where it's feminine, but it has its own aggression. It has its ability to set whatever limits or boundaries are needed, right? For her community, for her family. But there's a whimsical aspect to her that she's always connected to these magical realms. She doesn't lose that connection as she maintains focus and sight and vision on where she's going. Okay. So that's really important in you identifying what fuels you, what sources you. And that's why that Holy Spirit energy was saying, hi, I'm here. Remember me. You're really caught up in your head right now and in your thoughts. And, they're wanting you to reconnect to that. Okay. And not believe this darkness that's been around. I call it darkness. I mean, people call it different things. Mental health, just a trying time. But the outcome here is the card of victory. So very powerful. And it's victory over the self. It's success. And it's with the power of the sun gods. So it's with the light. And so some of you I'm being called to talk about you connecting to things that have lower vibrational energies that are keeping you down, like the things that you're watching, the things that you're listening to, even aesthetics, styles, way of dressing, the way you step into the world. There's something about what you're consuming, which could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be things you're hearing, watching, something about the things that you're consuming. They're not good for you. Okay. And so they're wanting you to get closer to the light because we need the balance. Okay. It's like it's gone a little bit in the other direction. But this outcome is telling me like this is happening, right? Like you're in the process of this. So you may already be in that, you may already be feeling it, or it is coming. But I want to bring it to your awareness so that you make conscious choices. Again, the energy in all of my readings is always a choice, right? It's a choice for you to step into these outcomes, these opportunities, these possibilities that are presented here. So the other message that came through was to stop holding back. They don't want you to get bitter because of these energies, because of the heart-opening experiences that you've had. They want you to, again, kind of like relentlessly and ferociously walk with your heart open, but in a sense, like with maturity, right? For like the greater good of you and all, not for you to sacrifice yourself, not for you to overgive or, create a bunch of gray areas and taking down the boundaries. Like, no, this is about you doing it with maturity and clarity. Okay. I don't know if it was your last reading or it was a recent one. There were a lot of themes around stepping into sort of like a king and queen realm. And I feel like this message is connected to that, where you can be soft and graceful while still running things and making the calls that you need to make, and knowing when someone or something isn't good for you, isn't right for you or your kingdom, and having to make some tough decisions, right? They also want you to stop wondering why. And I think that's connected to what I was talking about when I was saying to savor the experiences that you've had, even the difficult ones, because it's ultimately about living. And as soon as you make peace with that, things are going to go a lot smoother, and you won't get stuck in time frames and cycles. You will be able to break through energy a lot quicker, and especially not get stuck around people who are leaving these lower vibrational imprints in your space. Okay. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. The star, here you are, showing up in your reading. I feel a lot of strength in this card, and I feel an awareness on your part about what it is that you need to do moving forward. And I hope that that's true. And if it isn't yet, I feel like it's coming. There's like a bit of an aha moment where you're going to go, wait a minute, I need to stop giving my energy endlessly to these external things, and I need to channel it into something that is meant to come through me. Empress. Okay, this is what we've been talking about. And it's about you roaring and celebrating, and also getting to work and getting down to business, right? It's like it's time. And that's probably why it's come through as a mastery, as an achievement. It's almost like as soon as you accept that you are in this life for mastery, you become the greatest student. You become that eager student, the one who milks it, puts in the hours, the one who gets the most out of it. What a privilege, really. And ultimately, your softness and your sharp mind, like the combination of that, like the way that these experiences are polishing you, like the combination of that, it's like there's there's a readiness about it. Okay. And High Priestess, some of you need to ask Spirit a very vulnerable question. And I hope you do this. And it might be a time to step back and step into yourself, reconnect. And I'm only talking about energetically with the private moments for yourself. I'm not talking about pulling away from whatever this is that you're being called to create. This is about you having a daily connection with self, but you need to ask the question, what is needed from me? Spirit, God, universe. What do you need from me in order to achieve what I meant to achieve on my path? This is a very different question from Please, I want this to come true. Please, I want this. I want that. Please, I need this. Like, it's very, very different from saying, what is it that I need? Okay. This question is what makes you this shining star of alignment. This question is what stops you from holding back, and to stop waiting and to stop trying to build from this everlasting place. It's not about the empire. It's about creating to touch hearts, and that's eternal. The empire may or may not be. Okay? So this is where this question leads you. And this is what aligns you. And I just want to be clear, you are always aligned to your path, whether you choose to repeat cycles or not. You are always aligned to your path. But in order to be moving forward on your path, this question is required. And it takes a certain level of intelligence and humility to say, what is needed from me for this year, for this chapter? Okay. It's very powerful stuff, and it's very different to manifestation and, all the things we do. So, freedom is here. You're on the brink of it. It's fast approaching. So the question is, will you open the door? Or is your door open to all of these other things? This question is coming in. We talked about enjoying and sort of basking in this divine experience of life. And the question is coming in of, if you can do that, what more is there? And I love this because you have the King of Wands here and you have the Empress, right? Two very creative energies. Very creative energies. I love this deck. It's so shiny, holographic. This is my first time using it, actually. Happy New Year. Very creative energies. And this threshold of you becoming this person that is here to create, whether through experience, whether through embodiment, whether through your choices, whether through what you choose to do or how you choose to help or how you choose to show up, right? Like, creation could mean so many things. The threshold of that relies on your mindset, which is, in one sense, a relief. It's not based on skill. You don't lack skill. You don't lack talent. It's based on mindset, meaning the negative thought patterns, the overconsumption of lower vibrational things, right? Like all the things that we've talked about. That's the only thing that is keeping you from stepping into this full potential. Okay. So how you choose to live it actually inspires others. I feel like you've gotten this message before. And it's through your choice to live that truth. I think I said this earlier, but it's like you embody the presence of love and God in just the way you live your life. So it's not dependent on something that needs to be built or something that needs to be created. It's about your everyday. It's about your perspective. You're actually unaware. And this is what I love about you. It's so sweet and it's so humbling because it's like you're actually unaware of how inspiring you are. And that could be also because people kind of hold back and don't want you to know maybe how awesome you are. You are an inspiration to others, and you being an inspiration is your path. If you've been questioning, what is my mission? No, your mission is you. Your mission is to live your truth in every choice in every day. And that can change, right? And so that is your path. That's your way. And it's also your gift. And here's here's the crazy thing. You don't have to understand this, but you're getting to. And you don't have to. God is handling these things for you, right? These conflicts, these issues. You don't have to understand why, or why this person this, or why this happened to me, or why things unfolded, or why things ended a certain way. Like that energy, like your mindset being on that energy is keeping you away from the blessings of the moment. And this moment, specifically now, is very fertile for you to dive in, to dive into something that needs to come through you. For those of you that there's been an issue with a person, with an environment, some type of issue around you that's been very hurtful and quite frankly unfair, it's been bothering you. It's been in your head. It's been perhaps keeping you from sleeping or giving you insomnia or something like that. Anxiety, right? Whatever this issue is, there is a resolution that's coming. And I love that this came out. I was hoping this card would come out, but with everything going on in this energy, I just kind of forgot about it. But this reminded me. I was hoping the Six of Swords would come out because you are being asked to allow the grace of God and the universe and just a higher power to take you through these great waves and pull you into this thing that you're on the brink of, which has such calm seas. It's like so calm and steady and pleasant and wonderful, where you can actually stop and smell the roses because you're not surviving. It's like that is there, like this is there for you, and it is coming, but there's a conflict that needs resolving, but it doesn't actually require you, which is kind of incredible, right? It's about just knowing your truth and asking that higher power to resolve it. And you don't need to understand it. You need to let it go, actually. And the grace of God will really just take care of it. And you may not even know. You may not even know when it happens or how it happens. And that is the reward that you get for living your life truthfully and authentically. Okay. So I think I'm going to leave it there with the tarot, but I'm going to pull a few other things here. I'm really excited about this deck. It's kind of amazing. I bought it in my recent trip to South America, and I've been really excited to use it, but I've been cleansing it and connecting with it and doing my meditation practices and having it on my altar until I was ready, and I was really drawn to it today. So it is definitely new energy. I want to talk about what you're breaking free from. This energy of you being tethered and caged. And there's something that you've been, and it could be this issue that's going to be resolved, but knowing that, I hope that you are able to detach from it, because what's been coming through with this caged energy is a lot of anger. It's like a feeling of isolation. And it's this feeling of, if you express yourself, it's like you're either going to cry or you're going to be angry or you're going to like rage out. It's this combination of the two, but it feels like there's a struggle to escape from. There's either, okay, for some of you, it could be like toxic or manipulative connection. And for others, it could be more of that overconsumption habit, something that needs to be cut off, something that needs to change, because it's lower, it's a lower frequency, it's lower energy, and it keeps your spirit captive. There's something about, oh, excuse me. It keeps your spirit captive, which promotes, encourages, creates destructive thinking. Oh my God. It calls in dysfunctional relationships. So whatever it is that you're tied to here, and it doesn't have to be like a toxic romantic relationship, although it can be for some of you. It could just be like a repetitive cycle or a habit, right? But there's something that keeps you tied here. And first of all, it's not stronger than spirit. So you aligning and grasping to that connection with spirit makes sense now of why it's coming in heavy. Because that Holy Spirit energy is within you, and that is stronger. That is stronger than this darker energy. Yeah, and it's this darker energy is compelling, so it looks attractive, whatever this is. And so it can trap you, right? But it's actually coming because you have some kind of void or wound that you haven't looked at. And darkness like this comes in when we haven't looked at something, when we haven't addressed something. And so it's like you're unintentionally inviting it in by not addressing the thing. And when I said, oh my God, earlier, something else came in that is connected to this. I'm glad I'm making this connection, because this is really important. It's about this idea that to me is truth. Take it, how you wish, but we're always in a state of creation, meaning we're always manifesting, even when we're not. So what I mean by that is you could be doing nothing, you could be passive, but your being as a frequency of energy is in a certain state of mind. It's in a certain state of being, right? Like you could be angry, you could be upset, you could be, like this reading has said, questioning the whys, and you will be creating from that space. And people will come knocking on your door, and the opportunities you call in will be, they're all opportunities for you to break free from this energy, which means there's a learning behind them. Okay. So as you raise your frequency, the things that you call in are different. They're at a different, they're at a higher frequency. They're in a different space where they're not necessarily a hard lesson, right? It could be just about co-creation or spending time together or laughing, right? So, or playing even, or traveling, experiencing, exploring, like they could be more positive. But I think the point here to understand is unintentionally inviting. So what does that mean? It means awareness to the frequency that you are emitting. Because even when you're doing nothing, you're creating. Okay. There might be worst case scenarios in your head or like doomsday stuff, right? There's some habit or connection that you have that makes you go there. And you need to harness that. You need to learn to master that and understand what's real and what's not. Beware of the energies around you. Beware of taking on energies from others, but also, why are they knocking at your door? They must have some connection to your frequency, right? And so it's like, what are you doing to release yourself from that? Okay, and it comes back to you each time. What are you consuming, right? Is it helpful? But like a sunflower, you have the choice to turn your head to the light every time. Letting go. This is such a beautiful card. So, there is something that may return. And again, it could be like a thought process, a habit, a person. But it's something that isn't good for you. And the main message with letting go is that change is needed here. Okay. Because there's something unresolved. But Spirit wants you to know that the ghost has already passed. In the past, right? It's past in the past. You have defeated this before. And so apply the learnings when making these decisions when this comes up again. Okay. With this flexibility card, oh my gosh, if I could speak, I wanted to say I was called to the Sacred Forest deck for a reason, because you are meant to bring plants and flowers and nature elements into your environment to help you with this energy, to help you ground this. Okay. Yeah. And just ignore outside influences that are negative or cause you emotional confusion or distress, because you are transcending. And in that threshold that I have been talking about for a long time, you need courage. You may feel at times like a loss of energy, demotivation, the need to be quiet, but it's about facing the difficulties, right? And facing them from a new perspective and not ignoring them, and knowledge, air, spirit, continuing your self-growth, your mastery, right? This has been the theme from the wind spirits. Love seeing that. And this is boat, moving into the calm seas. And the last card I'm going to pull, activation. Okay. I use the word initiation, but I think we're talking about the same thing here. There's an activation, and there's something connected to 369, 36, or 9 that has also been a theme here, if that means anything to you. But this activation is leading to a level of acceptance that you've never known before. And what's birthed through this energy will be so loving and so graceful, so magical. Should you open the door to the energy that wants to come in and close the door on the energy that needs to leave? Okay, my loves. I am going to leave your reading there. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you got something out of it. If you did, please leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love the sense of community. I love to hear what touched your heart and what you're going through and whatever your intentions are for the year as well. You know, it's a really good place to solidify those. But either way, when coming from the heart, they are heard with a loud resonance from the greatest spirit, which is the most important. I love you so much.